मेरे सभी प्यारे प्यारे बच्चों, मैथमेटिकल टूल्स फॉर फिजिक्स वी हैव स्टडीड क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस बाय वैदिक मैथमेटिक्स and then binomial theorem expansion, or to find x plus a whole raised to n by using binomial theorem, that is without using multiplication of brackets of binomial terms. Today we are going to do trigonometrical functions trigonometry word. First we are taking trigonometry words, as this is made by two words and this is a Greek word. The first word is trigo, that is triangle, and second word is metri, that is measurement. So when measurement of different parameters of a triangle is done, then the branch is called as trigonometry. So for understanding trigonometry, the concept of an angle should be very clear. So let's start. What is an angle? As you are in 11th or 12th class, you will be well familiar with the definition of angle. Suppose I am taking a 2D figure, x-axis, this is x dash, then the vertical line y-axis and y dash, and this point of intersection is origin. Now suppose over here, starting from O, I am taking a fixed ray OA and another ray OB is coincident on this OA, but that will be a revolving ray. So let's start revolution in anti-clockwise direction. So as OB rays is going further away from OA, it is making greater and greatest angle as much as it revolves. So first of all comes a positive angle, an angle which is made in anti-clockwise direction, as this figure has made an angle in the anti-clockwise direction, that is opposite to the direction of needle of clock. This will be called as positive angle. For example, again I am taking OA as the fixed ray and OB as the revolving ray. Let's assume this angle as 30 degree. So we can write it as plus 30 degree because this is anti-clockwise. Taking another example, OA is fixed ray but OB ray was revolving much such that it made an angle of 90 degree, that is right angle. So we can write this 90 degree as plus 90 degree because this angle was also traversed in anti-clockwise direction. Now next concept is for the negative angle. As now you will be taking approximations that as anti-clockwise angle is assumed as positive angle, then clockwise angle will be assumed as negative angle. So clockwise angle is also called as negative angle, or an angle which is drawn in clockwise direction is also measured as the negative angle. For example, OA is the fixed ray and OB is the revolving ray such that this is 45 degree but as the angle traversed in the clockwise direction, that is in accordance with the needle of the clock, this will be indicated by minus 45 degree. And then taking another example, suppose this is OA and OB is here, and we are going with the direction of angle as clockwise. Let's assume this angle is 60 degree. Now just take care of this arrow's direction. This is clockwise, so angle will be minus of 60 degree. So the summary point is anti-clockwise angles, or which is also called as counter-clockwise angles measured, are dealt as positive angles, whereas clockwise angles are measured or indicated as negative angles. So you may note down these 2 points. Now next point is the measurement of angles. As mass is measured in kilogram, length is measured in meter or centimeter, then time is measured in second, millisecond, microsecond. So how we measure an angle? So there are basically 2 systems for measuring angles. First is called as sexagesimal system, and second is called as circular system. So these are 2 system names for the measurement of angles. I repeat, first is sexagesimal system of measurement of angles, and second is circular system of measurement of angles. So let's visualize first system as sexagesimal system for measurement of angles. So in sexagesimal system, there is a horizontal line and exactly a vertical line, and the angle given is measured as 90 degree. Repeat, horizontal angle and vertical angle, or horizontal line or vertical lines make an angle of 90 degree with each other. Now this gap is divided into 90 equal parts. So basically a magnifying lens should be needed to study it well. So let's assume first part, second part, third part. So each angle or each small part of these 90 parts, because when 90 degree will be divided into 90 equal parts, each part will be called as 1 degree. Now suppose for the convenience I am magnifying 1 degree part. Let's assume that it is only 1 degree. This is just an assumption for well understanding. Now this 1 degree part is divided into 60 equal parts. Now remember 60 equal parts, and one part will be called as 1 minute, and it is symbolized as 1 minute. Now again taking magnification of 1 minute, now this 1 minute is further, this 1 minute, assume that it is 1 minute, is further divided into 60 equal parts, and now each part is called as 1 second. So this is denoted by 1 second. So revising sexagesimal system of measurement of angles, that the angle between horizontal line and vertical line is 90 degree, which is called as first time one right angle. सो राइट एंगल वही होता है जो 90 डिग्री से बने. सो दिस इज 90 डिग्री. नाउ 1 डिग्री equal to 60 minutes and it is denoted by 60 minutes. Now 1 minute equal to 60 seconds and it is symbolized as 60 second, but always remember that this minute or this second is not same as that of clock. They are only compared for the measurement of angles. Now this system is well established and there are many practical applications found in trigonometry, but it is not very convenient because it is on the account of multipliers of 60 and 90. So the disadvantage of sexagesimal system is that it is not a very convenient method. Now the second system is called as circular system for the measurement of angles. Now in this system we measure the angle in radian. In this system, circular system, an angle is measured in radian. Suppose I want to write theta radian. So the symbol will be theta c. So radian is always denoted by symbol c. So this is theta radian and generally pi radian, 2 radian, 1 radian, 3 pi radian, 4 pi radian. So we use this type of circular system in which angle is measured in radian. Now for understanding the concept of radian, let's draw a circle whose center is O and OA is one of the radius. I am drawing another radius at such a point P where OA is R, OP is also R, and this AP is the arc which is shown by AP is an arc. You have studied this type of symbol or representation in 9th and 10th class. So if the length of the arc is also R, then the angle measured at the center is called as 1 radian and it is denoted by 1 radian. So this small c over 1 is the symbol for radian, and by the definition of an angle, since angle equals to arc divided by radius, arc is R as well as radius is R, so this ratio will be a pure ratio 1 in radian system. So it is not only written as 1 but 1 radian. Hence angle subscribed at the center will be 1 radian. Now let's assume the total circumference. We know the formula for length of total circumference as 2 pi r. So let's assume the total circumference 2r be divided into r equal parts. Then what is the number of total parts? I repeat my sentence. The total circumference of the length 2 pi r is divided into r equal parts. Then the total number of parts will be 2 pi r divided into r equal parts will be 2 pi. So this total angle So this total angle which is making one complete revolution in anti-clockwise direction will be equal to 2 pi. The total angle completed in one revolution will be equal to 2 pi. Hence we know that the total circumference of the circle makes an angle of 2 pi radian at the center. Hence a semicircle will form an angle of pi radian at the center. And as we know that this total angle which was subscribed by the complete circumference is equal to 360 degree or is equal to 4 right angles, because 360 degree equal to 4 into 90 degree. So a semicircle will subscribe an angle of 180 degree at the center. So let's draw its diagram. This is a semicircle, diameter, the longest chord passing through the center. So this angle subscribed will be 180 degree, which is pi radian, because pi radian is half of 2 pi. So this angle is pi radian. So pi radian equal to 2 right angles equal to 180 degree. Therefore 1 radian equal to 180 degree divided by pi. Now when we put the value of pi as 3.14 and the whole value, we get the reciprocal of 3.14 as 0.31831 and so on. This is equal to 57 degree 17 minute 44.8 second approximately, because this is a never ending number. Hence from above formula we get that 180 degree equal to pi radian, 90 degree equals to, we can divide both sides by 2. So 90 degree equals to pi by 2 radian, 60 degree equals to pi by 3 radian, as for getting 60 degree we have to divide both sides by 3. So 60 degrees pi by 3 radian, and to get 30 degree out of 180 degree we have to divide both sides by 6. So 30 degree equal to pi by 6 radian. We can place brackets here for the convenience. Now we will learn the methods how to convert a given angle from degree to radian and from radian to degree. So as we know that 180 degree equal to pi radian, therefore 1 degree equals to pi by 180 radian. Hence to convert degree into radian, always multiply by pi by 180 radian. Let's take an example of 120 degree. So 120 degree is multiplied by pi by 180. Degree will cancel. We can cancel both by 30. So this will be 4 pi by 6. Now it is cancelled by 2 again. So this is 2 pi by 3 radian. Or you can directly cancel it by 6. That will be giving you the simplest fraction. Now take second example in which radian is converted into degree. Again I am taking this type of same relationship, but now I will write radian in left side. So pi radian equal to 180 degree. So 1 radian equal to 180 degree divided by pi. So whenever we have to convert radian into degree, multiply by 180 degree divided by pi. So let's assume example, we have to convert 3 pi by 4 radian into degrees. So as one thing can also be done, that for pi radian we can directly put 180 degree. That makes the problem very simple. Or for the proper conversion, you can multiply by 180 degree divided by pi. So pi will directly cancel. Both the things are same. So let's making the simplest thing, putting pi radian as 180 degree divided by 4. So this is 3 into 180 degree divided by 4 is 45 degree, which gives an answer of 135 degree. Now let's take some questions for your solving. Convert 45 degree and 135 degree in radian. This is first question. Second question is, express the following angle in degrees. So convert 3 pi by 6, and next is pi by 5 radian in degrees. Now write next question as for example as, find the length of arc of a circle of radius 10 centimeter subtending an angle of 60 degree at the center of the circle. So in the problem, first of all, try to recognize the given quantities. As we can see that this is r because it is given by the name radius, and this is an angle 60 degree. So this may be symbolized as theta. Now by the basic formula, we know that angle equal to arc divided by radius, but this formula is applicable only and only when, listen my instruction again, this formula is applicable only and only when angle is measured in radian. So it will not be given in the exam that you have to convert the given angle in radian. That is your duty, that you should know the fundamental application of this formula, that for application angle should be necessarily be converted or be represented in radian. So let's convert 60 degree angle in radian. For degree to radian conversion, we multiply by pi by 180 degree. Degree will cancel, and this answer will be pi by 3 radian, as 60 will cancel by 180. So this is pi by 3 radian, as it is only pi radian by 3, but just for the sake of convenience I have used bracket. Now arc is not given, we have to find arc, so this is a question mark for us, and the length of radius to be represented in meter for the precaution, because we should take the SI unit of centimeter or of length. So radius equal to 10 centimeter. To convert it into meter, let's multiply it by 10 raised to minus 2. So now this is 10 raised to minus 1 meter. Putting this value here, so now we get pi radian by 3 equals to arc divided by 10 raised to minus 1. So let's cross multiply the things. So the length of the arc will be pi by 3 into 10 raised to minus 1, which may give us the answer as the length of arc is pi by 3 into 10 raised to minus 1 meter. Now next question we can take with the help of another topic AP, that is arithmetic progression, which you have studied in standard 10th. Dear bachcho, do you remember you have studied 3 numbers which were in AP in standard 10th. So we were taking those numbers as A minus D, A and A plus D. The format may change, like we may take here x minus y, x, x plus y, 3 consecutive numbers which are in AP, that is arithmetic progression. Arithmetic progression is that series in which 3 numbers or more numbers are making by the common difference ascending order or descending order. So our question in the present situation is the angles of a triangle are in AP. This is useful word for our problem, and its greatest angle is 75 degree, means सबसे बड़ा एंगल 75 डिग्री का है. We have to find the least angle, means सबसे छोटा वाला एंगल हमें निकालना है of the triangle, and special instruction is given as to find the least angle in radian. इसलिए प्रॉब्लम पढ़ते टाइम आपका जज्बा कहीं भी कम नहीं होना चाहिए. आपके लिए प्रॉब्लम में ही आंसर छुपा हुआ होता है. प्रॉब्लम को बहुत केयरफुली पढ़ लेंगे तो हेक्टिक और पैनिक होने की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी ही नहीं. सो लेट्स टेकिंग अ ट्राइंगल. ट्राइंगल की कुछ बेसिक प्रॉपर्टीज़ आपको पता है, जैसे एंगल सम प्रॉपर्टी 6th क्लास से पढ़नी स्टार्ट कर देते हैं हम, वेयर इट इज़ गिवन दैट द सम ऑफ 3 एंगल्स ऑफ अ ट्राइंगल इज़ 180 डिग्री. नाउ 2 common things are there. First, all the angles of a triangle, obviously there are 3 angles, and those 3 angles are in AP, and it should always obey angle sum property. So let's taking alpha minus beta, alpha and alpha plus beta be 3 angles of a triangle. Now they are in AP, that is why we have used this type of system. Now applying angle sum property, so alpha minus beta plus alpha plus beta equal to 180 degree, that is pi radian. Minus beta plus beta cancel, 3 alpha equal to 180 degree. So alpha equal to 180 degree divided by 3, hence alpha equal to 60 degree. So we have got the value of alpha. Now it is given that the greatest angle of the triangle is 75 degree. So we had 3 angles in the form alpha minus beta, alpha and alpha plus beta. Now think which will be the greatest quantity in these 3. Obviously your answer will be alpha plus beta. So for the greatest angle, we can put alpha plus beta equal to 75 degree. Putting the value of alpha, we get beta equal to 75 degree minus 60 degree. So beta equals to 15 degree. Now very happy, we have got another value also. But what is the question? We have to find the least angle of the triangle. Again we revise. These are three angles of the triangle. So which angle will be the least angle? Definitely your answer will be alpha minus beta. So this is alpha minus beta, as alpha was 60 degree, beta was 15 degree. So alpha minus beta will be 60 minus 15. So it is 45 degree, and to convert it into radian according to the instruction given in question, we have to multiply it by pi by 180. So degree is cancelled, 45 cancels 180, and we get final answer as pi by 4. So let's do more and more question for yourself. So you may note down a question: the difference of two acute angles of a right angled triangle is 3 by 10 pi radians. Find the measure of acute angles in radian and degrees. Go to the deep points of the question. Next question is: the wheel of a railway carriage is 1 meter in diameter. Obviously we know that diameter is twice of the radius. How is the speed of the train, or you may write it: calculate the speed of the train if it makes 3 revolutions in 1 second. So over here you may replace the word also calculate, because the speed of the train is not a qualitative thing, it is a quantitative thing. So never confused by the wordings of the question. So best of luck for this part. In next part again we will try to cover more part of trigonometric functions for the use of mathematical tools in physics. Thank you for watching. Happy learning.